Well, fancy seeing you again back in Great Yarmouth. So this time I'm just going to give you a little bit more of an insight into the locomotives and the rolling stock that they used here for this tour. At the top end by the buffers you've got 66712, and at the bottom end you've got 66702, amongst all of these chocolate and cream Mark 1 coaches. But like I said, it's not just that on the face of it. We'll have a little look in there. Spoke to a couple of the people from GBRF on this tour. There's a potential that we may be able to go into the cab and see some bits like that, and also when we go back into the coaches, etc. So yeah, hope you enjoy it, and welcome again to Down the Line. Okay, so just behind me, like I've said, we've got 66712 named Peterborough Power signal box. To be fair, at Peterborough there is quite a heavy presence of GBRF there, so it makes a lot of sense. And I think there's quite a few locos named after certain things at Peterborough. My knowledge is a bit vague, so we need to get on and research, of course. But one thing I have loved is these Mark 1 chocolate and cream coaches. Obviously, from what I can tell, GWR, and when you know look inside, there are Riviera sort of taperings along where your head would rest. So to me that would seem like, you know, Cornish Riviera, English Riviera down to Torquay, things like that would be used. So like I said, at the moment we're just waiting on here, but I think the rolling stock's going to go to Norwich, and there it goes.
After the pair of 66s had departed, it gave me the perfect opportunity to have a look around at this seaside station. And after a 5-hour train journey, it felt nice to get out and about and have a look at what Great Yarmouth has to offer.
So just while we are here, and obviously the service has gone to Norwich for a period of time, a little bit about Great Yarmouth, and it would be rude not to tell you. So it opened originally in 1844, not as Great Yarmouth, but as Yarmouth Vauxhall. It then changed to Great Yarmouth in 1989. So a variation there as well. A lot of stations I've been to lately have had quite a few variations of names, so I'm going to assume that's now just a common theme historically. But no, so there are 3 platforms numbered 2, 3 and 4. Number 1, I believe, is all the way over there where there's no track bed anymore. So at the end of the day, it's quite nice to see some historical aspects to this station, as well as, you know, like it looks like just a normal terminus of next to a seaside, and it actually does remind me of Newquay quite a bit, but it still has the history, so it's still got it.
This is a very peculiar station, and the more you look around into the finer details here, you can start to make out that Great Yarmouth has its fair share of railway history.
So as I mentioned, the train will not be leaving until 4:25 to go back to King's Cross. So in the meantime, the only thing we can do is obviously look around here, which we've done, and we're going to head into Great Yarmouth and just have a little look around and kill some time from there. Hopefully we will be able to have a little more of an insight into the locos. Like I said, hopefully we can have a look at in the cab, so that will be awesome. And also as well, like I said, I will show you a bit more of the inside of the coaches. Mark 1, so you need to see the inside as well as the outside, of course. But anyway, let's have a look at Great Yarmouth, and I will see you back here very soon.
As we had 3 hours to kill, we ventured out along the quayside, and this made for a lovely summer's walk. There even seems to be an old railway bridge outside of the station, so if anyone knows about it, then please let me know. It's always very interesting to hear other people's railway history. And now it's back to the station to have a look inside the cab of 66702 before we walk down the train to show you the interior of our first class Mark 1 coach.
Right, so after a memorable cab visit, unfortunately haven't been able to film it, probably due to security and safety reasons, so respecting the wishes there totally. But now we find ourselves in coach A. First class is where me and Graham are sitting, so lucky us. But again, I just want to point out the detailing in here. Like I said, you've got the Riviera detailing, and also the table is beautifully set out for the breakfast and obviously the more dinner meals on the way back. So we're due to depart in around 15 minutes, so let's see how much more of the internal side we can get before we do depart. But But so far, brilliant. So we've just popped out and popped back in again. We are now down in coach F. As you can see, still got the Riviera detailing, so obviously it's all red in here. Obviously not first class, but it's still really nice and comfortable. And like I said, these being the old coaches, Mark 1s, just goes to show that, you know, the style of travel back in the day, you know, compared to being squashed in 2-seaters and 4-seater areas on, you know, modern day trains, especially like class 350s on the West Coast Main Line, for example. You've got open spaces like this, and I much prefer it. They're a lot more comfortable, but yeah, it's nice to see a bit more of the insides here. So like I said, we're going to depart extremely shortly, so I think it's about time we took our seats. So the next time you hear from me, we'll be back at King's Cross. See you there.
After a brilliant day, it was time to leave Great Yarmouth behind and head back for London King's Cross, before we stopped for around 20 minutes while we tucked in to our 4-course dinner, which I have to say was cooked perfectly, and it wasn't long before we were nearing the end, albeit very tired and sweaty, but what a day to remember.
Right, so we are nearly at King's Cross, and we're both feeling very, very tired now. So we're going to wrap it up. So today has been brilliant. How have you found it, Graham?
Oh, absolutely brilliant. It's well worth it. You know, a lovely trip on a first class train. Absolutely fantastic.
And you can't get better than that. So hopefully in the future there will be a few more for us to do. But from me and Graham, we will see you next time down the line.